Gamers, 2021 is wrapping up and you know what time it is. Time to talk about games in 2021. We'll be covering topics like best games, worst games, biggest surprises, and much more. Today we're going to be covering the best games for PlayStation, which is a little weird because now that most games are going to PC, are they really exclusive anymore? Let us know down below in the comments. So kick back, grab a snack, and let's revisit the top games for PlayStation in 2021. All right, let's start our list off at number 10. And for PlayStation, I'm going to be starting with the Tales of Arise. By the way, as we stated beforehand, this list is in no particular, this is the only order this works. So if you have this higher on your list for this particular console, then by all means, let us know down below in the comments. But anyway, Tales of Arise. What needs to be said about this? It's a JRPG. It's classic. Everyone seems to love it who's really invested into the series. If you're somebody who hasn't tried it out, then you might be a little hesitant sometimes because these games are super long. I have friends who play these for hours upon hours upon hours. Not into the Final Fantasy XIV type of JRPG, but regardless, a lot of people have enjoyed this game. A lot of people gave it high praise. And everything from the combat, the visuals, the story, everything, they seem to love it. So definitely a great game for 2021. Moving on to number 9, we're gonna be going with Solar Ash. Now, do not confuse this with Soul Ash as I did when I originally recorded this, but Solar Ash literally just released about a week and a half ago. And while a lot of people were definitely concerned about it since it was actually delayed less than a week before its initial release, it's actually proven to be a pretty good game overall, I would say. It may not be your cup of tea personally, or may not be the most exotic game or anything, but it's a lot of fun to watch, especially on streams. And it's just a lot of fun to kick back and relax with your controller on the couch and just simply play the game. It really is. Some of the jumping puzzles can be really fun, but at the same time, some of them are a little, not that good. But regardless, it's still just a very fun game to chill, relax, and especially over the holiday season right now, it's definitely something worth to pick up since it's not a full AAA priced game or anything like that, and you can just have a lot of fun with it. Next on my personal list for number 8 is actually going to be Returnal. Now, this is actually an exclusive to PlayStation, and this can definitely be a hit or miss depending on what type of player you are, because it is brutal. It is definitely very similar to the Souls games where if you die, you basically start over. But everything from the gameplay, the graphics, the story has definitely been praised by a lot of people when it comes to this game. If you're somebody who doesn't like the fact of, oh, if I die, I lose everything, and that's a big turnoff, I can easily understand why you don't like this game. But a lot of people who do like these particular types of games have all given Returnal a very good positive thumbs up. Coming in next for number 7 is going to actually be Resident Evil Village. Now, Resident Evil Village is definitely an interesting game because not only did it break records for Capcom, but they announced DLC after the opening weekend, and a lot of people have definitely enjoyed this game. There's always going to be competition when it comes to trying to compete with the likes of Resident Evil 4, even Resident Evil 5 for its co-op play. A lot of people didn't like 6 and 7, but some still do. So Resident Evil Village was definitely going to be one of those hit or miss games, and it seems to have hit its mark with all the memes that came out with it, all the gifts, the gameplay, everything was basically positive for the game overall. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what they do with the upcoming DLC and everything. But regardless, Resident Evil Village is definitely a very fun game for 2021. Next at number 6, I'm going to be going with Hitman 3. Hitman 3 had a lot of expectations going into it as the third in the franchise, obviously. And when it comes to a trilogy, you know the expectations are sky high. Just literally look at the past of video games and everything. But Hitman 3 seems to have hit a pretty good reception when it comes from its fans and its critics alike. It was not getting a AAA plus or anything like that, but overall the gameplay was fun, the graphics were good, and the story seemed to satisfy a good chunk of people. Maybe it's not the best Hitman ever, but overall it seems to have carried the legacy that the series is known for. Coming in at number 5, we're going to go with Psychonauts 2. Now, I know this isn't exactly everyone's favorite game or anything like that. In fact, if you actually look at some user scores on Metacritic, it's only sitting around about a 7, give or take, and it changes obviously for console to console and everything. But overall, pretty much a majority of people agree that it just simply improved upon what was known from the first one. And while it definitely has an interesting look, I myself personally thought it was kind of a game when I first originally saw the concept and what it was. It's actually just simply really fun to play. It's improved upon all the mechanics, again, like I said, from the first one, and just a really fun time. And again, you don't have to pay full AAA price anything, just like I've said for other games. So definitely worth a pickup if you get the chance. All right, coming in right before the top 3 is going to be Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. Now, I know this is a DLC and it's not technically a game, but the way that these DLCs are made are just, it's absolutely ridiculous in terms of the scope that they have. Unfortunately, they've been having some troubles with the servers and everything. You guys have probably seen the news. We've covered it here ourselves on the weekly wrap-up and everything. Check it out in the top right corner if you want to. But regardless, Final Fantasy XIV has an amazing fan base that just absolutely love the game. And they even won some awards for Best Ongoing Game at the Game Awards. And there's a reason people still play this game today. Touted as one of the worst Final Fantasy games when it originally released. It's amazing how much this game has turned around and is just absolutely loved by all, basically. And everyone who keeps trying to join in. Unfortunately, you can't right now because they're actually stopping sales on the game. So hopefully that resumes very soon. But overall, everyone seems to enjoy this game regardless. All right, we're getting into the top 3 now, folks, and that means these are the big hitters. And what better way to start with a game that a lot of people did not have high expectations for until they actually got to play it, and that is Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, this game has had it all. Good story, good music, unless you're streaming, good gameplay, good visuals, the whole 9 yards. Everyone has simply enjoyed this game from top to bottom, and it even won some awards at the Game Awards. It didn't win Game of the Year, which a lot of people personally do think it should, but it was still a really fun game, and a lot of people were impressed by it. In fact, we ourselves have a review up on the channel as well. If you haven't checked it out, by all means, go ahead. But overall, it was a very good game, and this just proves that you don't have to go down the whole loot box end game type of game when it came to something like Marvel's Avengers, and just focus on a story-driven game with good character development, and people are going to like your game. So keep it up, guys. Coming in at number 2 for PlayStation is going to be Kina Bridge of Spirits. This game took everyone by surprise. When we initially saw the trailers, we all thought, no way can they pull that off with a small team. This is considered an indie game, and they have this small a team. There's absolutely no way they're going to be able to pull it off. Well, guess what? They did. Not only did it win Best Indie Game at the Game Awards, but it also has amazing fun gameplay, awesome visuals. It looks absolutely stunning in 4K. I'm not someone who really likes 4K and really cares about it, but if I'm saying it looks good in 4K, you definitely got to check it out in 4K if you possibly can. And again, it's not even a full price AAA game or anything like that. You can get it for about 40 bucks. Heck, you can probably get it on sale during the holidays right now for even a little less if you really need to. But it's definitely 100% worth it. The only downside, if you're not on PlayStation, though, is that it is on the Epic Games Store. But regardless, we're focusing on PlayStation here. 100% worth it. Grab it if you can. It's kind of a crime if you haven't played this game already. And coming in at number 1, it should be absolutely no surprise what the best PlayStation game of 2021 is. For most people, again, it's not necessarily saying it is absolutely the best, but regardless, it is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. This is literally exclusive to nothing but the PlayStation 5. Unfortunately, a lot of people just simply haven't been able to play it because a lot of us don't have PlayStation 5s, me included. But regardless, from the gameplay I've seen, from the reviews I've seen, everything about this game is just absolutely fun. It takes the good stuff from the Ratchet and Clank games of the past and just simply improves upon it. It has a lot of weapons, a lot of cool, funky mechanics. The power of the SSD in the PlayStation 5 allows you to move between areas at breakneck speeds, which you don't really get to see on consoles up until now because of just simply how they've been designed and everything. So PC players might be looking at this going like, dude, I've been able to do that for years. But regardless, this game takes full advantage of the hardware in the PlayStation 5. Absolutely amazing fun. And once I'm actually able to get it, I'm 100% going to be playing it, and I cannot wait. But what did you guys think of our list when it came to the top games of the PlayStation for 2021? Do you personally agree with some of our choices? Do you disagree with some of our choices? Let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. With that being said, guys, make sure you like the video if you happen to like it. Subscribe if you happen to be new as well to keep up to date on all of our content going forward and into the new year of 2022. We got lots of stuff we can't wait to show you guys. Anyway, with that being said, my name's been Tallen, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Johnny.